everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing Dance Moms dances that got robbed in my opinion, and for starting I'm going to be covering seasons 1 and 2. Basically I'm going to tell you which dances I think should have won. Some of these we saw who beat them, some of them we didn't, so I'll be discussing that as well and explaining why I think they should have won. And for the people that we did see who beat them, I'm not discrediting them at all because every single person on that show is more talented than I could ever even hope to be. Some of them it's just choreography I preferred over others. Some of them they had better solos. I mean, no one's solos are perfect 24/7, but anyways, so let's get started. So first number is Mousetrap, and this was performed by Kenzie in season 1 episode 4 where they all had their own solos. I just thought that this number was absolutely adorable, and I feel like for her only being 6, that was super advanced choreography. I mean, she was doing cartwheels and tumbling and rolling on the floor, and also it was just adorable. Like, I thought that was so cute. I'm shocked that she didn't place, but I think it might have been because she competed in 8 and under, so probably the girls who are 2 years older than her probably won, is my assumption. I don't remember if Maddie was against her because I know Maddie was 8 at that time, but I do think that, you know, she should have at least placed. She didn't even place. That's absolutely ridiculous, and the costume was so cute. I just absolutely love that solo. So the next one is from season 1 episode 8, and this is People. This is a dance that Paige did that we didn't actually see in the episode. I believe it was aired in Abby's OMG Moments or one of the Abby specials from Paige, but she also didn't place, and I thought this was one of Paige's better solos, especially in the earlier seasons. Like, she did great. I loved the balloon prop. I loved her characterization. I loved the costume. It was a really good number for Paige, and I think it was also choreographed to show off her assets and not just embarrass her, because unfortunately Abby did give Paige some dances where it was basically set up to embarrass her, which is stupid, but we're not going to get into that. And then next we have from season 1 episode 9, we actually have 2 from that episode. The first one is Sinful, which is their group dance. They got 7th place, and I thought that it was really good. It was a good contemporary number. It was about the 7 deadly sins, but there was only 5 of them, so maybe that confused the judges, because I know they redo it in season 6 where they actually have 7 people and it wins, so might have just been the fact that there wasn't 7 and it was Sinful. Anyways, I do really like the characterization, especially at the end where Maddie's like reaching up and then Chloe's like dragging her hand down. That's one of my favorite parts of that group, and I like how they all each have their own individual moments throughout the dance. And I definitely thought that group should have done better than 7th place. Like, I would love to see who beat them, because that's ridiculous. And then also from that same episode, I have Metamorphosis, which is Brooke's solo. I thought that that solo was great. The only thing that I feel like Brooke could have improved upon was her facial expressions. She just kind of always smiles and like, she doesn't have a lot of emotion in the majority of her dances. Other than that, like, she has great technique. She, of course, can do amazing acro tricks that I don't even think I could even attempt to even begin to try. Never. Anyways, yeah, so I really don't know who beat her, how they beat her, and she danced while she pulled her shoulder out, which is insane, and she didn't even miss a beat. So, obviously the judges don't know that, but that is incredible in my opinion. Sorry. So from the next episode, season 1, episode 10, we have Disappear, which was Maddie's solo. This is probably in my like top 5 Maddie solos, which, considering I think Maddie did like 60 plus solos or something, that's like pretty high up there. I love this dance. I thought she portrayed the character well. I love this song. The choreography, I thought it was perfect, like especially when she's like this and she like goes around in a circle and is like all sad. Maddie always did well with like sad pieces, and I feel that this one, especially in the earlier seasons, because she did have some in the later seasons that were a lot better, but she was also much older. But in the earlier seasons, I feel like this was definitely her best of her like sad solos. I prefer it over Cry, which I know Cry is like the most iconic Maddie solo. Everyone probably in the universe knows Maddie's solo Cry. I mean, she competed on the show 3 times. Mackenzie re-competed it. And I personally think that Disappear gets overlooked because it didn't win. And I feel like if it did win, maybe it would be the more iconic one. Because I personally love that dance. I think that it is perfect. And I would really love to see who beat her because, and again, not to discredit them, because for a lot of these, we don't even know who beat them, but it's like, how? What were you dancing? What were you doing? Were you just like the most perfect dancer on this planet? Because that was a really good solo. And before anyone comments, oh, well, Chloe beat her, actually they were in separate age categories. I know Chloe had a solo, Chloe had Dream on a Star. Honestly, between the two of those dances, I don't know if I could pick a winner. Like, if they were head-to-head, I'd give it a tie, truthfully, because those are two of my favorite solos from those two. So up next, we're done with season 1, we have Starry Night, which is Brooke's solo from season 2, episode 5. And this was when Brooke came back from cheerleading, because that whole storyline was fake, but whatever. I really liked this solo. I thought that it had a lot of good tricks. The only thing I really didn't like was the music. It just felt so, like, weird. Like, I get it was intergalactic, and I guess it, like, fit the theme of that, but I didn't like the music. But other than that, I thought she had a lot of cool tricks. I liked when she, like, held her one leg in a tilt and then did a side aerial and then did another side aerial. She had a lot of talent, obviously, with acro, and acro's not the easiest to do. I mean, I can't even do a cartwheel, and I did recreational dance for like 8 years. I'm not good enough to be on Dance Moms, believe me. I just did like 1 class a week. But I really did like that dance. It's probably, out of like all of these, probably one of the ones that I can accept more than some of the other dances that didn't win, but I still do think that it deserved to win 100%. Alright, next up is from season 2, episode 7, Chloe solo Please. I love this dance. This is my favorite Chloe solo ever. I feel that it is so underrated. Nobody ever talks about it. I think that it is amazing. Like, Chloe in this solo has so much emotion and power, and just her technique is great. Her turns are amazing. Her jumps are great. Like, if you go online, I'll put some of the photos up here, but if you go online and look at photos just from this solo alone, they look amazing. And I love her costume. Everything about this dance is amazing, and she actually lost to Maddie. They were in separate categories, but in the overalls, she lost to Maddie, who performed every little step. And while I do think that's a good solo for Maddie, I personally prefer Please 1,000,000% over. I thought that solo was absolutely amazing. She just really connected, and I feel like that was like a big breakthrough solo for Chloe, and I feel like nobody ever talks about it. Like, I feel that I am the only one who loves this dance so much. Like, I used to be obsessed with it when I was younger. Alright, so next up is from season 2, episode 11, the group dance Trapped. Which, and I know the reason why they didn't win is because in the judged version, Maddie's sweater got caught on Brooke's hair. At least I'm pretty sure that's why they didn't win. But even with that, I mean, they can't really control that. The button got caught. It happens. They didn't miss a beat. They still performed the dance. I thought the dance was beautiful. I loved the story, the messaging. I loved all the, like, individual parts of them partnering with Maddie and Kenzie coming at the end because, you know, the homelessness problem still exists. Nobody has really found like a major solution. Obviously, there's still, like, there are homeless shelters and stuff, but there's still homeless people living every single day. And I really just thought that it symbolized that, and it showed that even if you help out one person, there's still a whole bunch of people who need help. And I thought the girls looked beautiful in this dance, and even though they had that little snag with the sweater, I do not think that that should have caused it to get third place, and I would really like to see who beat them, because it was a beautiful dance. I loved it. Alright, next up from season 2, episode 16, we have Maddie's solo, Helen Keller. And this is another Maddie solo. It's probably in my top 10 of all of Maddie's solos. I love this solo. I think that her characterization was good. Her utilization of the prop was great. The only thing I didn't really like about this solo was the song. Like, I kind of get it was just supposed to be like instrumental because it was more about the story than about like the words, but it wasn't my favorite. But anyways, I thought that she really portrayed the role well. I thought that you could like tell that she doesn't know, like when she's reaching for the doll, it didn't look like she knew exactly where the doll was, which I feel like if she wasn't as good at the characterization, she would be like, oh, there, oh, it's there. Like, she acted as though she didn't know where the doll was, and I thought that was really impressive and everything, and I just liked the concept of it, and I was really shocked when that dance didn't win in like real time. That shocked me to my core. And from the same episode of season 2, episode 16, is Maddie and Chloe's duet Inside of Me. This one also shocked me to my core. I was like, how did this dance not win? This is my favorite Maddie and Chloe duet. I know everybody talks about Black Swan, and while I'm not saying that that dance isn't good, I love Inside of Me. I could probably watch it a million times over. I love the song. I like sing it all the time. And they're just so like together in that dance. Like Black and White Swan, or I guess it's just Black Swan. Black Swan, they had a lot of like individual moments. Like they did have some partner work, but a lot of it was individual sections. Whereas Inside of Me, they had mostly unison parts. And they like turned exactly, like their legs were exact. Like if you took a picture of them at any given moment, they would be exact. Whereas sometimes I feel like when you have a leap, maybe one person's legs are here and one person's legs are here. They were exactly the same, and I love that dance. I could watch that dance probably like a million times over. I think it is amazing, and it is one of those dances that I feel like is just so powerful and iconic. And again, I feel like if it won, it would be more iconic, because I feel, again, everyone talks about Black Swan, and while I'm not saying that dance isn't great, I think that Inside of Me is far better, in my opinion. I don't know anything about dance though, so maybe I'm wrong. Alright, so next from season 2, episode 19, we have Paint the Pictures. That is Brooke's solo. Now this wasn't actually aired, which is weird because Peyton was there and Peyton competed a solo, and you would think like, oh, this would be a great moment for them to show that, because they rarely aired Brooke's solos because she never had any competition, and this was like one of the few times where she had competition and they didn't air it, but stupid, whatever. Anyways, so Brooke had amazing feet, amazing technique, as she always does, and again, she's doing all these wonderful acro tricks. She did only come in second, but I still do think that she deserved to win, because Brooke's acro is like amazing, and I know that some people are probably going to be like, oh my god, she's not like the best acrobat or best contortionist ever. Don't care. In my opinion, she looks amazing and she has beautiful technique, and I love that solo, and I definitely think that she should have won with that solo. Okay, and next up from season 2, episode 20, we actually have 2 from that episode. Working Girl, Nia's dance. Now, I don't think Nia deserved to win. However, Nia got 9th place, and Nia got a standing ovation. Now, I'm sure a decent part of that was because she was Nia from Dance Moms. I'm not gonna deny that, but even so, all of the girls who competed solos that day, like Maddie, Paige, and Nia, only Nia got a standing ovation, and Maddie and Paige didn't, and they're also both from Dance Moms. Sorry. And I thought that Nia had so much power in that solo, and I also really liked that it was kind of like a comeback from her original Laquifa solo, because that was a disaster, terribleness, not Nia's fault. It was the choreography and the costuming and bleh. Anyways, did not like that solo. But Working Girl, I thought was great without being too stereotypical. Obviously it was a little bit, but you know, that's just Abby, and that's just how Abby is, unfortunately. So if we were going to talk about Nia's least stereotypical solos, we wouldn't really have a lot to choose from. So I really did like Working Girl. I thought that Nia, out of everyone, has like the most sass and attitude, and you definitely saw it in Working Girl. And I loved the ending with the death drop. It was just great. So I don't think that she should have won, but I definitely think that she should have been at least in the top 5, if not top 3. And then also from that episode, we have Creme de la Creme, which was Paige's solo, which I always feel so like sad about this, because I think that this is I think that this is Paige's best solo, and it's so sad because I felt like she really was on a like step up with her technique and everything, and then she broke her foot. And I feel that that really set Paige back, because again, as I said, she was doing so much better with her technique, but then she broke her foot and didn't dance for 4 weeks. And then I don't think the Highlands went back that summer, so it was probably much longer. I don't really know, obviously. But it does kind of make me sad, because I'm like, oh my god, she was on such a good trajectory, and then she broke her foot. Not her fault. It was just a bad situation, and then it went downhill. I do think that she picked it back up, but it was kind of sad to see her go like versus I don't know. Sorry, that was really weird. Anyways, so Creme de la Creme, I really liked it. She had a lot of really good tricks, her presses, her tucks, all of her acro was really good. And again, like Nia, I don't know if she deserved to win, but she definitely should have been in the top 3. Like, this was Paige's best solo, hands down. No one fight me on that. I truly believe that. And then the last dance for seasons 1 and 2 is Leave the Light On, which was Chloe's solo in season 2, episode 22. And we saw Justice beat her. And Justice, we saw 3 of his solos. I think that out of the 3 solos we saw, this was definitely his worst one. And I think that Chloe had amazing turns. I loved her costume. I loved her facials. I thought that she was amazing. And she got a score of 297. I don't remember what Justice got, but I remember her score was really high. So obviously if he beat her, it was a little bit higher. But I personally disagree with that. I think that his was, as Abby said, just a bunch of leg holds. Again, not his fault. He didn't choreograph it. But Chloe definitely had a stronger performance where she did turns and leaps and everything, whereas Justice just did a bunch of leg holds. And so I really do think that Chloe should have won. Absolutely. And I hear my baby crying, and now that this video is done, I'm just gonna say thank you for watching, and next week I'll do seasons 3 and 4, so I'll see you then. Bye.